Hi, my name is Natalie. I'm a welfare officer for Free Food for All. So, on typical working days, I will just come inside the office, of course, check my emails and all that, then attend to calls. Sometimes, we have like recipients who actually need the food aid immediately because they are unable to go out because they may be COVID positive. Hello, hi, Free Food for All. Hello, hi, good afternoon, sir. You want to apply for food aid? I'm right now a single mom, unwed, of two beautiful boys. They are a joy of my life and they are the only ones that actually keep me moving forward. Yeah, so Free Food for All has actually helped me a lot since the period, I would say before and during and now after COVID as well, because they are very supportive. So I started off as being a Free Food for All beneficiary, then I became, a little volunteer here and there as when I can, and then they helped me a lot during when I was jobless during COVID period, and after that I gotten a job here as a full-time. There was this once whereby I really need food, like there's nothing in my fridge. I don't even have 1 cup of rice left. Yeah, there was nothing left, and then I contacted at that point of time the welfare officer. Yeah, so she did help me, like in terms of just quickly get food aid delivered to me so that me and my sons could have like something to eat. And even though it's ready to eat meals, of course, the first time I received it, I was like, what's this? Yeah. But like after a while, like tweaking here and there, like I add sesame oil to the porridge. It has become like our family favorite because it's so easy. Like I just need to heat up and then it's done. I don't have to think about what do I want to cook for dinner for the kids and all that, because a lot of the meals that was given are kids friendly.
At FFA, we have a chance to make change, impact. Means you can see today Ahmad bin Samad, 10 years old, joined FFA, was a beneficiary, and this is the programs that we gave him for 2 years. He completed secondary school, he went to poly, he went to this, he got married, now he is having his own purchase flat. He bring his mom to stay with him. That is success to me. Failure is Ahmad got married at 17, no education, have 3 kids, and live in a rental flat. That's failure to me. We believe that strong multi-approach, community support, nutritional support, mental support, health support will provide them a good solid soil ground for them to bloom.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Anak Cik Isa ni kawan dengan perempuan Batam. Jadi tak nikah. Jadi bila diorang dapat 2 budak-budak ni, diorang tak jaga dengan betul. Jadi Cik Isa ingat apa, tak apalah Cik Isa jaga. Jadi ingat first ambilkan custody untuk bapak dia. Kali bapak dia tak kerja betul, jadi tak boleh jaga dia. Jadi Cik Isa kesian dengan budak-budak ni. Cik Isa ambil lah Cik Isa jaga. Sampailah sekarang. Jadi bila diorang dah besar, bila nak masuk sekolah susah. Pasal apa, dia nak Singaporean kan. Jadi Cik Isa turun naik lah. Pergi jumpa MP. Masih reject jugalah sampai sekarang. Jadi bila ICA cakap kita nak kena adopt, Cik Isa usahakan jugalah, tapi masih juga tak boleh. Jadi kita tak putus asa lah.
Grandma spent $5,000 to go over to where the mother was, and she basically got the lawyers to write a letter to have the custody given to the father.
Pasal Cik Isa susah, pasal dia nak Singaporean, dan bulan-bulan nak cop pasport. Habis nak turun naik, dia tak usahakan. Semua Cik Isa yang usahakan.
On their birth certificate, it is chalked, this child is not a citizen at time of birth. This is unfortunate because they are really from quite a low income family, so nothing is subsidized. But what I feel is the greatest travesty for these two children is because the children are not a citizen at time of birth, it means that there are no subsidies for schooling. And they did not even have a chance to enter preschool. A story shared by Madam Isa is she had to work to support these two children because they are cared by her, by grandma. They don't live with the father. And she used to work as a cleaner in the HDB blocks. And little Ryan at 3 years old would be pushing Putri on the pram and following grandma as she cleans the estate because they could not be put into childcare. As time went on, they tried to enroll into primary school as well. Unfortunately, student pass was denied. Homeschool system then here as best as we can. So they have English, math, science, Malay, piano, cooking, art. They did electives, our termly CCAs that they joined their friends with in the afternoons. So they had one term of speech and drama with Singapore Repertory Theatre in term 3, and they had yoga in term 4.
Run, Henny, run. The sky is falling. He cried, we must run and hide somewhere.
Oh, they don't want to go home. If they had it their way, they would not want to go home because over here, especially in the afternoons, they have their friends here. The children are socially starved, especially because it is COVID.
My hope is the same as the rest of the staff here. I really hope that they would go to school as soon as possible.
Kenapa susah sangat nak kasih dia orang sekolah tapi dia beranak kat Singapura apa? Tahu tak? Jadi Cik Sam macam stres dengan apa? Jumpa MP, macam-macam MP Cik Sam jumpa. Kenapa dia orang masih tak boleh prove juga? Itu lah yang Cik Sam question lalu kenapa? Kerana kita ni susah, kerana kita tak ada duit. Kadang-kadang stres lah. Habis dia orang suruh pergi ICA, kita bikin. Suruh DNA kita buat. Suruh pergi ambil apa, apply for sekolah kita apply. Pun reject. Sampai bila ni Cik Sam nak tunggu? Jadi Cik Sam ikut apa je suruh bikin, Cik Sam bikin. Semua ada surat. Pasal Cik Sam selalu doa. Ada seseorang datang ke depan nak tolong Cik Sam bantu budak-budak ni.
Okay, Children's Wishing Well, to put it very simply, is an organization whereby we provide support and assistance to children and youth who are actually from the low-income families. So what we do is to help them break out of the poverty cycle by empowering them through our various programs.
Pre-COVID, we were able to bring the kids out, so there were a lot of learning journeys. These learning journeys were also sponsored by volunteer donors actually.
We have life skills workshop whereby we equip the children with the experience and the exposure for skills that will benefit them even after they have graduated. We also have a grocery shopping program called Fresh, whereby we have corporate sponsors bring the children out to the nearby supermarkets to shop for fresh groceries and household items.
Like before that, our parents like give us a list of things to buy, and then when we reach the center, we wait for more people to reach, and then we go to Sheng Siong, the nearby Sheng Siong, and then we buy vegetables vegetables that our parents want us to buy.
So what have you learned from Fresh?
I have learned how different foods give you different vitamins and other stuff. I go to the supermarket and buy groceries for my family.
So what do you normally buy?
Vegetable, fruits, sometimes meat. I learn how to pick good quality products, like good quality fruits, vegetables and meat. Too much junk food and later you get then your body will become very unhealthy, and then there will be a lot of health problems later when you grow old.
Like?
Diabetes, lung failure, kidney failure, like that.
The children get to be involved, they get to learn about two important lessons in life. So number one is healthier eating. They get to pick healthier food items. And number two is simple budget planning, because the budget is just $30 per child. We do not encourage overspending. So based on the $30, how does the child get what he or she needs for the family, and at the same time adhere to the rules of the program. We actively look out for children with talents by daily observation when they are here at the centre, as well as receiving feedback from either their teachers or their parents with regards to what they are passionate about.
If there was no wishing well, then I would not have made more friends. Yes, in school I also don't have a lot of friends. Then when I come here, then I have made more friends.
And what about your coding now? Would you be able to go where?
No.
Cannot.
No, cause my family cannot afford.
So what you want to be when you grow up?
I actually don't know, because my interests like what I want to become has like changed over time. That's why I do not have a certain occupation that I want to go when I grow up.
So at first, what do you want to be?
I want to become chef, but then now I don't want to become chef because I realize I don't like cooking. I just like to eat.
Now?
Now also I don't know, but I just want to go to good university like MIT, Caltech, like that.
Wow, you heard of MIT?
Yeah.
Caltech also?
Yeah.
Where are they in Singapore or Malaysia?
I think US.
US, okay. What do you want to study in Caltech or MIT?
I don't know, maybe like technology or physics, but if I go at MIT, maybe engineering.
What is engineering?
That's why I want to find out more, because I don't really know. When I was young, I also wanted to be a teacher and a firefighter.
When you were young, you wanted to be a teacher. Now, as you're older, you don't want to be a teacher?
Yeah.
Why?
Because got many students to teach, many subjects to teach. Every student has different personalities. Some very talkative, some very quiet.
So you're worried you cannot manage?
Yeah.
Do you think if you are a teacher, you can manage this boy beside you? As
No.
your student? You cannot. Why you cannot manage him?
He's too reckless.
Oh, reckless. Wow, what does reckless mean? Reckless means what? If he's driving a car, he will
Crash.
crash.
Yeah, too destructive.
Oh, too destructive.
Yeah, he also too playful. I have many thoughts in my mind.
Example?
Sometimes I feel like I want to be a marine biologist.
What is that?
So we do research on ocean animals.
Marine life.
Yeah, on marine life.
Mommy?
Yeah?
But what is alarming is that the number, or rather the age of teenagers engaging in sexual activities is starting at a much younger age. It's currently at 12 to 13 years old. I mean, as compared to in the past where it was 15, 16.
The reasons that the girls shared with us that they became pregnant, right? First is the lack of consequential thinking. So just thinking like, okay lah, one time that we don't use a condom, it should be alright, we won't be that lucky.
I took a few pregnancy tests, I think like 5, to confirm that I was really pregnant.
So all 5 showed that you were pregnant?
Yeah.
So when we first get to know the case, so that's at an entrance level lah, they would probably be in crisis. So what we need to do is de-escalate the crisis so that it doesn't go further.
And did the social worker come down to see you?
Yes.
Came to it?
She came here to my mom's house.
When the girls come in panicky, what we will usually help them is to understand their situation and give them the choices, provide them with the choices so that they can make informed decisions.
And she said that whatever choices that I make, she will be supportive of it.
It's her life. I cannot decide for her what she wants to do, but definitely I will support her whatever decision that she's making.
Here are the choices. Do you want to carry on with the pregnancy? Do you want to terminate the pregnancy? Or do you want to carry on with the pregnancy for whatever reason, but later after delivering, do you want to give it up for adoption or fostering? So these are the choices we normally give them.
I don't have the heart to like kill a human being inside me.
Definitely terminating the pregnancy or giving up for adoption is not on my mind lah. I mean, she's already pregnant, so we have to go through this together lah. She can't be going through this alone.
What about adoption? Did it ever cross your mind?
No, actually, because like you gave birth your own child and then you just want to give it away to someone else. I mean, they are not an item. It's your child in the end, so it's best for you to take care of it. You make the mistake, you own it up.
And then whatever choices they make, we support them. No judgment. We can't put in our own values. Although sometimes when they make a certain choice at the back of our mind, don't choose that, we can't. We have to respect their decision, and then as a social worker, we journey through whatever decision it is. Yeah.
When I give birth, I look at my son's face, you will automatically think that, like, what if you leave him? Who is he going to be? What will he eat? What will he drink? And everything was supposed to be like you provide your child you don't have the heart to just throw your child like that. You have to love him because he will stay with you forever. Your child will be there. Your child will grow up with you until you're old. For my son, and when he goes to school, right, if sometimes school they ask to like describe your dad, describe your mom, or like talk about your dad, your mom, and it fears me the most that if his friends were to make fun of him because like he's just with his mother. Yeah, I mean, even if I tell him about his dad, it's not like he wants to see him lah. I mean, his dad wants to see him, so it challenged me the most.
Are you disappointed by that? That the dad doesn't want to see him?
A bit.
Did you tell him that?
Who?
Your ex-boyfriend?
Yeah.
And what is it?
He just like say nothing lah because he's in a new relationship now, so I don't want to bother.
Mommy, clean up.
Mommy's cleaning up. You like mommy to clean up? You want mommy to clean up the whole house? What is that, fire engine?
Fire truck.
Fire truck. Raihan wants to be a fireman. You want to be fireman? Or fireboy? You want to be fireboy or fireman?
Now that I'm a mother, the priority is shifted to my son. So it's always his need first. It's always what he think, what he feel, way before I do. Yeah. So it's always him.
Was it difficult to change, or it was okay?
Yes, at first it was difficult because first time being a mom, of course everything is like hard, and haven't experienced like baby cry for so long. Of course it is depressing lah for me. It was so stressful, but like as he grows up, he cry less, sleeping well. Yeah, so it's better now.
Most of them think like dead end already. Once I'm pregnant and I decide to be a mother, they think that's the end, but it's not. It's not the end. I have had cases who have achieved whatever they envision, and yeah, it's probably a longer route, a rockier route, but it's still achievable.
Should you face an unplanned pregnancy, it will be a crisis. So I mean, if we look at teens, they are in a vulnerable stage because of where they are as teens. So let's be supportive and not judge them, so that they can also have a chance to move towards a brighter future.
Please don't judge. It could happen to you. And as a friend, if you're really a friend, please give her your support.
Because as our past cases has shown, we have girls who have inspired others. We have girls who, despite their young age, is juggling everything from schoolwork to working full-time to being a mother. They are pillars of strength, that they are valuable members of society. So all they need is actually just a kind word sometimes. All they need is a supporting hand at times, or even just a listening ear.
What are your hopes for the future?
That I can still pursue in my nursing, and Raihan to get all his education that he needs and be successful.
There is an attitude that regards foreign workers as just economic digits.
If they're going to be terminated, it's devastating for them. They see no way of putting their life back together if they're terminated from this job, which has been the sole source of income for maybe 6 or 7 of his family members. It's absolutely devastating.
So I called my friend My friend, he know that this is the TWC, so I call this number. I say, ma'am, can you help me? I cannot stay at my company house, dorm. So after that, I come here. I go to the police station, report to police. Police say, okay, you this thing and your salary, everything you tell to your mom. Then after I tell them my things, and inside have my passport, Aadhaar certificate, all document inside have. I cannot take this. You can help me to take this my things. I am alone only. That's one cloth only. So long 3 weeks ready. So I must need my things on. This officer SMS to company say he take ready his barang Alibaba. Then madam say, you inside any friend have? I say have. So I call my friend, my things still have inside, right? Yes, same room. So can you send me the one fixer? Then this my friend send me fixer and video also. Then I send to madam, say my things still have inside the room. So officer also, 3 officer there. Then I say my things inside have. Then I bring my things and I show them my passport and certificate of. Then I bring.
So it's like I feel that they are not strangers or anything. Whether be it Indians, Bangladesh, or any other nationalities, we are at the end of the day. My thought is that we are all human beings. That's it.
TWC2 simply wants to improve the conditions of migrant workers, of low-wage migrant workers, and by whatever means possible. Our clients are any migrant worker that has a problem. Most of them are work permit holders, and most of them are men, and most from South Asia, Bangladeshi in particular.
My name is David, and I'm a social work associate with TWC2.
My name is Muhammad Alfian. I'm a social worker here.
So it's like over my journey, I've been meeting up with so many workers who has been approaching us not only for casework but also just for emotional support. You know, sometimes they just need someone to talk to. So my duty here is not only to handle casework perspective, but also to be just like a friend to them. Even though it's like it's all about talking about cases, workers approaching us like asking us, bro, you know, what can I do, sir? You know, I'm stuck. My boss is not paying me salary, or I'm involved in a work injury. I don't know how to claim insurance, or it's just I don't like this company because I have a better offer, or my boss is not treating me well. So what should I do in this kind of case? It's like it's mostly of providing advices.
My duty here is to assist workers with any issues that they have, especially employment issues. They come to us, then usually I'll be the one who's going to assist them, either me or David, my colleague. The most common one is usually salary issues, unpaid salaries, not paid properly, injury cases, especially workplace injuries where workers want to claim for insurance, but they are not sure how to do it, or their employer is not being reasonable, not being responsible, and so that's where they come to us. They can know what are their rights and what are the steps they actually need to do.
Problems cannot be legislated away. Problems need legislation. Problems need monitoring of legislation to make sure that the civil servants are fair and are conscientious in policing them. Problems also need to be solved by educating the public so that the right social political environment exists for this problem to grow smaller and then be overcome.
So we started out by offering a free meal service. It started out with just breakfast, and gradually it became breakfast and dinner 5 days a week, with once or twice on the weekends. And through this interaction with quite a number of male migrant workers, we were able to uncover a lot of problems and see things in a very different way.
Calf Road project, the meal program. From there, the word spreads out from mouth to mouth. You can come to not only get meals but also to seek help for their cases.
Coming time, some money take loan, men from take loan, and Bangladesh Bragg Bank. This bank also give me 3 lakh, Bangla money 3 lakh, Singapore money $4,600. I coming here, working, give my house money, and this loan money give only 1,000. 3,600 now also cannot give. This bank also, many men, many officer now coming my house, talk my wife, many talking. He said cannot give money, he take house, many talking. I say okay, he talk, see now no money, how can give?
Borrowing has its own risks. Now, borrowing, of course, comes with high interest rates. So I know of some people who pay a significant amount of their salary every month to the bank or the money lender or the NGO in home country. They pay the interest and they never get to paying the principal.
Now, this year's 2021, July 19, I working the electrician GI pipe, one man go up ladder 3 meter up. After suddenly ladder accident already. That time I accident injury, this one and this side and this one. Now after I go Singapore General Hospital, 7 days I stay Singapore General Hospital. After give me 1 month MC. Again I go apartment, give me 1 month FC. After go give 1 month MC. After go give 2 month 6 day MC. This December 10 MC finish.
Before I joined TWC, I had no clues about migrant workers. I didn't know. I only know that okay, they are doing a hard job, and I see them working in the sun and all these things. But I didn't know that they were facing so many issues. Only after I came to TWC2 and speaking to the workers, I knew that oh, this is how bad their issues is, you know.
I many times talk ready boss, my wife have, 2 daughters have, 1 son have, all study Bangladesh. My sister have, 1 brother have, together. Father, mother no have. I was talking ready now July, August, September, October, November, this on December. Until I can work. You only give makan money, house money, give makan money also I know enough. I talk ready boss, you give me MC money because my all men house now no money, all men cry. Sister now cannot study, no money cannot study. Wife also cannot buy anything, no money. I now cannot working. 5 months plus ready, 1 cent also I cannot give Bangladesh. I talk boss give me MC money, little bit I keep. He say I no give. I talk him, he only cry and pray, talk to Allah.
In one talk I gave to 1JC, the first question that was asked was, why are you telling us this? Why should we care about this? And I thought, I haven't gotten through to this group of people. But when they come to volunteer with us, I think they see a very different side. They can see how sometimes what would be a very small problem for us is a huge roadblock for them. One thing I feel is how privileged I am, because these are not my problems, but I'm privileged to understand it from someone that I know personally who's going through this. So we often read in the news about terrible things that are happening in other countries, and we have a very hard time conceiving of that. And I think that through my association with migrant workers here, I'm better able to understand what it's like for people who sometimes have very few choices to make in their lives and who struggle a great deal just to get the basics to support their family, and they may fail at that. So it's a privilege to have that kind of experience and to be in a situation where I can try to do something to make things even just a tiny bit better.
The foreign workers who make great contributions to this country. And therefore, our hope and our efforts as citizens is to get our policymakers to move faster in improving our laws so that foreign workers can lead a more equitable life like us, can also have dignity working here like us Singaporeans.
They should feel more of a responsibility for how migrant workers are treated. They should understand the situation better, and they should feel that to the extent that they benefit from all of the work that migrants do, they should be able to give back what migrant workers would expect. Which is better conditions, which is being treated with dignity and having a decent salary and being able to obtain the job without incurring huge loans.
Once that handcuff is on your wrist, we are no longer a normal person. Because why? We are going through trauma.
So the main challenges to me is that the thought process it's too narrow, and then it tends to just go to the path of crimes or drug addiction.
Most of the organisation doesn't really focus on the mentality of us ex-convict, and what they do is programs and a lot of programs. And for us, we need to focus on the mentality of.
I mean, I went through counselling also before. It is like, you cannot do this, it's wrong. Oh, but then it's like, you are like blaming me again and again. That's not the place that I want to go, right?
We can go through 10-20 hour session, come with thinking that we can change, but end up what we just did say the same. You asked me to do homework. Okay lah, I do lah. It doesn't change.
I want to change. I want to be a better man. So how? Teach me, guide me. But they are like blaming me. Oh, okay, you have to do this community service how many hours so that you can change. No, that's not wrong. That's wrong. You won't change people in that way.
When I was 8 years old until when I was 24 years old, 24 years old is where my last sentence is. I've been in and out of institution, counselling, in the army also same thing, the counselling. I've been inside IMH, they sent me to IMH. I've been warded there, I've been seeing psychologists, psychiatrists, in and out of program. That's where I said why it doesn't work. It doesn't work because there's a lot of programs. It doesn't. The other sense is it doesn't work because the program doesn't initiate my. I want to change, but it doesn't trigger me. It doesn't trigger the change properly. It doesn't see why I'm doing this program. It doesn't link to me. That's why we don't want to be that.
Ex-offenders usually when they released from prison, the bad friends who they used to friend with are actually the first person who will meet them. Hey, how are you, bro? Come back with us. Then after that, when they come back to the family, they will be like, oh dah keluar? Yeah. Oh, you are out finally. Okay. The treatment from friends and families are totally different.
The toughest time is not when you're inside, it's when you're outside. When you try to get back to society. And then that is the toughest because people judge you one thing. You are so left back. Like sometimes you go out like, what is this handphone? The buses that you used to take maybe don't have anymore, that kind of thing, like change route or what. So everything is new.
People say home is the safest, but for us, no. Sometimes that's the first trigger point. Go home, people start to judge you, name it, parents, brothers, sisters, neighbors. Yeah. Even one look at you, you are triggered. But we want to change.
So there's the same thing for, I believe, for ex-offenders, because they know that if they come back to their families, problem here, neck there, go find work. Now you just come out. We need all this. So go find work. Go find work. So they put pressure. They put more pressure to them, rather than making them welcome back. Take things slowly. Teach them or guide them of the many years that they have lost.
That's also the main reason why the numbers never come down. Yeah, a lot of people are helping. Too many are helping the wrong way. It's too many. Yeah, they're not helping. They're putting more problem.
Kita nak berubah tapi tak ada tu dorongan. Maksudnya korang tak ada satu support pun. Tak ada satu support, maksudnya macam sokong dia. Korang nampak orang macam kita macam keadaan bertetu macam gini kan. Korang pandang rendah, pandang hina. Tak ada satu moral support. Tapi sebenarnya korang yang tanggungjawab tu untuk apa tau? Peluk dia seperti macam bayi. Takkan bayi dah boleh jalan. Mesti nak kena tatihkan dia, didikkan dia dengan orang kata penuh dengan kasih sayang. Sedangkan Rasulullah SAW, dia kasih apa? Kasih sayang pada semua orang. So kita ni, kita perlukan kasih sayang.
No matter how tough they are, love is the best medicine. Really, love is the best medicine.
And it's a hard world outside, true. We just need a place to just take that off, just for a day.
Bagi saya, ini yang charity yang saya kenal, Firdaus, Freddy. Inilah buat saya belajar. Pasal apa? Tak mestinya kita kaya atau kita miskin, kita tak boleh buat charity.
Yang ada ni satu suami ada penyakit darah apa, entah kencing ke apa, isteri dia wheelchair. Habis tak ada orang assist. Macam kalau suami nak pergi klinik dengan time-time COVID gini, isteri tak boleh ikut. Pakcik susah, pakcik tu pakai tongkat. Jadi kesian lah.
I cried many charities. Really, I cried a lot because I always complain. Oh, tak cukup lah duit. I work so hard. I always complain previously. Now when you have the real interaction with them, I tell you, you will break down. Then you will like, why am I complaining? You see, Goosebumps. Why are you complaining? You see in front of your eyes, these people really need more than what you need, and that motivates me and makes me continue doing it until I die lah, insyaAllah.
Kita ada rezeki ke, kita tak ada rezeki, kita tetap nak bantu orang. Tak kira di mana saja je. Dari situ lah saya perbaiki diri. Walaupun saya ni bukan baik, saya ada itu kejahil saya, tapi saya fikir apa tau, they need us to help each other. Pasal apa tau, belum tentu kalau kita minta tolong siapa pun, by the time bila kita dapat tolong.
Pada saya gembira bila kita bergabung, beramai, kita kenal. Lagipun bila kita hantar ke rumah distribution barang-barang ni semua, saya sedar diri saya ni susah, tapi ada lagi lebih susah daripada saya.
I mean, giving back to the community is one, but the bonding that during that event itself is another thing that might, that will give them the love and affection. And of course, they lost this right in their family, but when they mix with us, they have this bonding much closer like a family.
What I love that we do is that when people come out, right, and then go to us, and then there's a turnover in the lifestyle, and then they will become the volunteers with us. that kind of thing. That's what I like, and we grow as a community and as a family.
We don't care who you are. You come in, we treat you as family. We do the charity together. Open up your heart, and end of the day, you go back to your family. You feel good. You feel good, and it will make you change everything. It will make you change the perspective of life, how you think about life right now, and that is, for me, that is success.
So that's the beautifulness of doing charity, not just by giving people, but at the same time you also gain something, the brotherhood, the friendship, the close, the togetherness, teamwork. That is not easy to achieve or not easy to get somewhere else.
We want to know that you come, you go back to your family, you feel happy, and you feel, you have another family who you can come and talk to.
We are doing different from other centers which is doing. So like what I've told you before, that we experienced it before, we felt it before, and we know what are the next step to do. So basically these people need someone like us so that they can change to be a better person.
Yeah, the challenges is how to get into his heart and put that seed inside. It's very hard. It's very, very hard.
The Malay saying, jauh perjalanan luas pemandangan. It is the same thing. If you have walked, if you talk more to other people, if you don't keep it to yourself, other people might, give you the other alternatives to how to solve it. The right people, especially. Yeah. So, and if you go out more out of comfort zone, if you walk different path, you will understand. Oh, okay, there are so many other ways to get to where you want to go.
Because if you want to be a businessman, you got to mix with a businessman, right? If you want to be a zookeeper, you got to mix with a zookeeper. You tend to become a good zookeeper. But then if you want to become a good people, you got to mix with the good people.
Siapa nak join kita atau nak ikut kita beramal, silakan, kita terima.
I would like to say that we ex-convict or the people who have gone through this thing, we understand each other. So if we put us together, we become a kampung. Yeah. Any problem, we can solve. The bridge is because we want to get back what the real reality is. Yeah. So we are the bridge. We help them move to become stronger and better, but still with the kampung spirit.
Hi, I'm Parkson and this is the WADT podcast. Together with me is my co-host Hafiz. Hi Hafiz.
Hi Parkson.
What are we talking about today?
Well, the mission is basically to put out in a public place fathering tips, to all kinds of fathers at all stages of life, whether you're expecting, new father of a young child or teenager.
From my own experience, until now I'm still a dad in progress. As coaches, we believe that we need to go down to the individual level and share our own stories, share other fathers' stories. Let other fathers listen to the many stories and many variations of experience for all of them to realize that actually all of us have our own journey. And more importantly, after this engagement, we'd like to have the resources that we share, right, in the podcast to enable them, to have the knowledge, the skills, and be able to become better fathers.
We want to be involved fathers, even after divorce. We want to be involved as a father. We want them to grow up in the best environment as possible, even post-divorce.
To make matters worse, I was having the impression that I just signed a so-called consent order, which spelled out all the terms and conditions which were unfavorable to me. And all my savings were being taken away. And that led me to signing on the dotted line, and later realized, hey, the judge is not gonna assess you based on merit. He's just gonna assess you based on you signing on the dotted line. And that's it. And that remains the greatest regret of my life. So thereafter, of course, a lot of challenges.
So after the divorce, I managed to see my child with a court order, right? So before court order, they were always saying, oh, no court order, you cannot see your child.
So these are the games that they play lah, you know. Or say, oh, you can see your child, but they put it during your working hours. Or, for example, you can see your child, but my father needs to be there to observe you in front, with cameras like this in front of you to view your child. Yeah, and lo and behold, this I did go to see my child. Lo and behold, all these cameras they were actually used in affidavit lah. And unfortunately, the legal system somehow is blind to all of this. That's the sad part about everything. You don't have the time to bond with him because the child will be scared of you. So they use it, the child is scared of you. So that's why you cannot see the child. So if you don't give the time, then how you want to bond with the parent?
Today, I would maybe say we are already moving into fatherhood 2.0. Okay, so fatherhood 1.0 is the traditional father who is either not around, or even when he's around, he is emotionally disengaged, right? He's the silent, stoic, unemotional. His three roles are basically provider, protector, and punisher. Okay, yeah. So that's fatherhood 1.0. But I think today most fathers are already doing what I would call fatherhood 2.0, the involved father.
Well, the initial years before I moved out of the matrimonial house after selling it off, it was really a very complex feeling because I've been living alone in that matrimonial house, and all the items belonging to my children every day, it's heart-wrenching to know that they're so close in distance, but yet so far away. I cannot just see them. At that time, it was really heart-wrenching and traumatic to if you want to put it in words. And to feel the void of not been able to see my children, I went to become a volunteer, a befriender of children whose parents are in jail. So I went to become a befriender. Firstly, at least I still keep in touch of how children behave and feel, and continue to attend parenting talks. But I think the most part of it, I just want to fill the void, because I miss my children so much. Even now. I love you, my children. I love you.
After 25 years or so, when I finally kind of recovered, and restored myself, okay, by mainly reconciling myself with my father, people tell me you are one of the lucky ones that recovered. And these are psychologists who tells me, that most children of divorce do not recover. And they live their lives with that emptiness, that pain, that guilt, and everything. And it affects their future relationships with their spouses and with their children.
It's about my own experience as a son myself. My father don't talk about his problem to me, neither I talk about my problem to my dad at the time. And it's that adjustment I have to make. All right, and I think although I'm not there yet, but I've improved. Okay, and I think that is about that. So to me it's about putting the effort, being a dad, and it's a process that individually we have to be a better dad, a better man. All right, and if you want to compare with someone else, it may not be useful. All right, when you compare with some of the people who are better fathers, it's good to learn from them, but you run your own race. All right, you run your own person, because if you have too much expectation and you fail in achieving the expectation, you become depressed, and again you think you're a failure, and that is the downslope for you. And I think I've had that moment, all right, and again having that moment, I realized that maybe other dads also have that moment and they don't talk about it. All right, so I think it's about talking about it, sharing that I as a dad also, like you, face the same problem, and don't be shy, to share and learn from each other.
Sometimes I think we are under this pressure, whether it's from society or even from ourselves, that we have to be perfect. We have to know everything. We don't have to, all right? And being a husband and a father is part and parcel of our personal growth and development process. So if we see it that way, there's nothing wrong in attending a workshop. There's nothing wrong in having a mentor, whether in marriage or in fathering. okay? And there's nothing wrong in even paying a visit to a counselor in order to make ourselves a better person.
So in the beginning, you hear that people are losing their jobs. So you read in the newspaper, right? Then you hear that some of your friends are losing their job close to you and relative. Then you hear some of your friends have gone bankrupt. And then after a while, you start to worry about yourself. So there is this net that goes tighter and tighter towards you.
I still have some money in Malaysia. So every time I remember, I would just drive into Johor, then go to the bank and transfer the money out. So many times I did that. So I say, at that time, there's still no currency control and all these things, right? So I told him, I say, Jack, my money ran out. I don't have money already.
The business partner, French partner, they own 50% of my business. And the other local partner, they own 35%. I only own 10%. My brother owned 5%. At that time, because we sold 50% to the French, right? Then when the French say, we also don't want this business, we sell to you or we close down.
I say, why don't you just wrap up the company? You know, then you don't have all this trouble.
It's not just about money. It's about 44 employees, you know.
No, he says, I have so many staff to take care. No, I can't just wrap up the company and the staff has no job.
So I was very surprised when the French want to sell. My local partner also want to sell.
So did you buy?
So 15% bought 85%.
Wow.
But they sell at a very cheap price, so I think okay. So I go and double mortgage my house. That's where the stress become very large.
It was pretty bad. He went to see a hypnotist and then he came back. He wasn't like every morning he wake up, he's like very lost.
While that stress was very strong, I created the World Toilet Organization. That means at first I have the Restroom Association, already enjoying it because at least I get some sanity, right? So the staff managers, they were telling me, boss, you're crazy. We need you here. You go and do every afternoon World Toilet Organization. What's going on? And I say, you know, if I stay here a full day, I'll go crazy. I got to go somewhere where I feel I'm successful. I have a usefulness. And when I'm doing the social work, I feel wonderful. So that I got the strength every morning to talk to you all logically. They don't understand lah, but eventually it works lah. So then they realize that it's true lah. So having big problem, you got to step away, solve other people's problem, and then you become calm enough.
So he says, I'm going to retire from my business. Is it okay if I don't earn money? I say it's fine because I think, I say it's okay, it's no problem. I think I can manage, we can manage, I say. So he said, okay, I'm going to do. So that's how he became happy again.
1998 started and realized that it was very joyful. 2001 started the World Toilet Organization, is even more joyful. And then after a while, I just realized that if this is so joyful, why do I want to spend time doing business? So naturally you gravitate to the thing that is very joyful. You see, why did you want to make money? To buy things to make you joyful. But you already can be joyful without the money, might as well, right?
World Toilet Organization is an advocacy-based organization. Our 80% of the work is around advocating improved water and sanitation services globally. We do projects, but we do it in partnership with the local organizations in different countries like India, China, and intention is that we should improve condition of sanitation across the globe, which means that everyone in the globe should have an access to at least one toilet at their home.
The world has still 2 billion people who don't have toilet. Over the last 20 years, the world population has grown by 2 billion people. And the number of people who don't have access to proper sanitation has dropped by 600 million. So if you can say, last 20 years, because we have created this World Toilet movement, 2.6 billion people, new people, has gained access to proper sanitation, right? Out of which half would not have got toilet if not because we are now talking about toilet in a legitimate way. Otherwise, we will still call it a water issue, which means all the money, funding goes to water, drinking water, agricultural water, and not to sanitation. Now, sanitation has become a normal subject.
Husband and wife, we have to have mutual understanding. We have to see that whatever, I mean, he has to be happy in order for the family to be happy, right? Because no matter what he says that I'm the boss, I'm a whatever, but he's still the head of the family, right? So if father is not happy, of course, mother is also not happy. Then mother, the parent not happy, children also not happy. So I think important is he has to find his purpose in life.
And that is when I find that service is the highest exchange for time, because you cannot save time. You can't put the time in the bank and say, I don't live for a while, you know. So you say, I got to use the time. So when you use the time to service other people, the process is totally different, because every time I think about myself, for myself, I feel miserable. I feel guilty. I feel I'm grabbing from somebody. I'm winning an advantage, you know. Whereas if I care for other people and I serve and I don't think about myself, I feel very joyful. I can tell myself, you are a good person. Keep it up. And that kind of joy is very hard to describe for a person who is chasing money. If I go and tell somebody who is chasing money, this is very enjoyable, he will not understand. He can only understand by doing it.
He has done so much. He has good achievement. Of course, we are proud of him. Yeah.
I'm 64. In 3 months, I'll be 65. So I also have to plan to hand over. So I have to find new breed of people to groom them over 5 years. And when I'm 70, I don't know if I have enough energy to fly all over the world, right? So I have to slowly transit into maybe romancing my wife, the last part of my life, to just spend time with her. Maybe like that. No? To become a nobody, I think it's very important. So you owe the society something, you give it to them, and then you still owe your wife something. So I think the children will have their own life, will get married, you don't owe them, you help them find their education, give them good human values. Then the wife is still there to go and romance her. I think it will be also very enjoyable. Then the other one is, if I'm lucky, grandchildren. I don't know. Yeah. On the last day of my life, I just want to say to myself, I did not waste this time. I did whatever I can. Don't make enemies. Don't have too many bad relationships. Go and clear it up if possible. Live a world that is full of love and care and that people are collaborating. We have no time to fight. We are here to love and care.
I just watched the documentary by Entertainment SG.
This video is very informative, very comprehensive.
I have a few mixed emotions after watching the video.
After watching the video, it made me reflect on my role as a father.
And it inspired me to contribute myself to help the migrant workers in Singapore.
Okay, mengenai setelah kita menonton video tu, memang rasa terharu dan satunya Singaporean ni kita tak akan rasa macam kita tak perlu worry lah yang kita ni tak ada bantuan makanan. Selagi adanya free food for all dengan bantuan ni, is the best.
On the one hand, I'm really glad that there are organizations like this in Singapore who are so committed to assisting and serving the needs of our most disadvantaged members in society. And I really hope that more Singaporeans get involved with the important work that they do.
I feel sad when I hear of children who are not allowed to go to school. I have teachers and classmates who can help me with anything I need to. I can also make friends with my classmates and go out with them. All children should be allowed to go to school so that they can learn new things and make friends.
For me, I'm a migrant worker, so I've been through all these difficulties. But many Singaporeans might not know what are the difficulties we face when we come to work here, as well as while working here. So I think this video will enable more people to understand the difficulties of migrant workers.
I think right now I'm in my pajamas today, just done with my morning toilet routines. And I feel so fortunate living in Singapore that all of us are able to flush away our morning businesses and not have the effect come back to us, just with the press of a button.
I felt the whole thing really gave some wonderful heartfelt messages. The challenges of mental health during stressful business times are always underplayed, and it's great to see that very well captured here. The commitment and contentment in the relationship between husband and wife came through very strongly too. And there's a good solid message there about thinking for the longer term.
On the other hand, I can't help but feel a sense of sadness, knowing that there are many invisible barriers that these children and their caretakers have to go through. In particular, it was hard to watch Madam Hua Isa navigate the bureaucracy or struggle to navigate that bureaucracy over citizenship, over adoption, over school enrollment. Clearly, there's more we can do as a nation to improve, both at the community level and also at the structural level.
And when I first heard about the plight of the siblings, whose mother is from Batam and their father is Singaporean, I was actually quite concerned because I believe that every child should have the equal opportunity to be educated and to go through the Singapore school system, especially since their father is Singaporean.
A father is no longer a provider, a protector, or a punisher. That's not enough. A father has to be involved, and I fully agree with this. We live in a very volatile world, and therefore the role of a father has to evolve.
I also liked the end section very much where Jack said he'd go back to romancing his wife at the end.
By sharing stories, by encouraging each other, by inspiring each other, I think all of us, we can become very engaged fathers in the lives of our children.
I could tell that their grandmother is very stressed about their situation. economically as well. Her single-handedly bringing up the children, it's really no easy feat, especially at her age, to have to provide for them both materially as well as, you know, giving them the encouragement and support to not feel down about not having their parents with them.
我看了这个纪录片后，觉得这个是慈善会很好，他们帮低收入的家庭分食物给他们。我是慈善会的义工，我鼓励大家一起也来帮低收入的家庭。谢谢。
I think that Children's Fishing Well has definitely done them a lot of good. Seeing them so happy at their classes, it actually makes me feel encouraged that Singaporeans out there are willing to lend a helping hand and to actually offer assistance.
About 10% of the world population are still living in extreme poverty, less than $2 a day. So what are we going to do about it? Jack has shown us that nothing is impossible. So be brave, dream big, and let's start by taking the smallest step you are capable of doing.
Beyond donating money, I hope Singaporeans can volunteer more of their time, their talents, and be more engaged meaningfully in civil society.
To our youth, I would say there is no better service than social service. Go ahead and help others. There is next level of joy. Make social service as cool as social media.
You know, I suppose it's the next generation. The young people now have got to realise that if they want this better, caring society in Singapore that they dream about, that they say they dream about, you know, it's got to go further than just looking after your own parents and grandparents. It's got to be inclusive. And why not? What's there to lose?
I feel the messages for Singaporeans of not only spending your whole life chasing money, but looking for other meaning as well is very well articulated and also quite subtle. People won't get a sense of this message being pushed in their faces. More it comes over as an alternative path that's worth considering. I especially like the retrospective at the end when I look back on my life. Very moving and will make anyone think twice about their own life.